Hello everybody. So after our race weekend, we're back here at John's house, and we got some upgrades to do in his car. He was holding off on until after we did our track day because we didn't want to take the car apart, possibly break it, and miss out on our event. So we got a disc brake swap. So standard drum brakes. I know you can't see probably anything here. So standard Fox drum brakes. So we got this kit sent to us from Foxbody brakes. So glad he shipped it to us, because first he didn't have the option on his website. So John was messaging him back and forth and he agreed to it. So and here we go. So since we're going 4-lug, you can see the drill pattern had to be modified a bit. So it's not a big deal at all. It's inner in the hub. It'll balance out just fine.
And you won't see it.
Yeah, so just got a big sticker. So we got brakes, the rotors there. Are they vented? No, non-vented, so they're fine. That's fine. So these are the smaller of the kits because we needed to clear the weld wheels and the 16-inch pony. So, or else he probably would have popped for the bigger Cobra style brakes. But these are going to be just fine. So we got SN95 calipers, all brand new. Brackets, pads, a bag of hardware, brake lines. Even got I guess it's their own kind of proportioning valve. Yep. So got their name on it. Got extra upgrades to do while we're in there. We got a rear diff cover. Yeah, we're gonna get cracking throughout the pollen. I don't know if you can see, it's like snowing here.
It is snow.
Everything blowing around.
It is bad.
My allergies are killing me, I'm dying, but we're gonna get to it. Follow along. Alright, everything off. Put their brackets on using the middle bolts. I guess it only depends on which orientation you want to have your caliper in. So it shows us having to flip the bolts around. So that's what we're going to do now. Tighten them up. Factory specs. Then
that was proper torque applied.
Yes, we're going to go here to the inside provided bolts. So bolt spacer, bracket nut.
So that's what it looks like going on. You have one spacer in between.
Alright, so we got a 3/4 inch nut on the back and an 18 mil bolt.
Just to keep you guessing.
Yeah. Happy about that. And next, install the axle back into the housing. Reinstall the C-clips. Alright, let's do the same to the other side.
Yep.
Alright, we got the axles installed, C-clips, cross pin and bolt. So now we're just putting the diff cover in place. So we don't use gasket, we just use a bead of decent RTV. Ultra black, ultra gray are your friends. I think these get torqued in the instructions to 20-25 foot-pounds. The inner parts get snugged down to 5 to 10 foot-pounds, just so they're touching the caps, so you don't distort them. And then the lock nuts are 25 to 30 foot-pounds. So we're gonna get the rest of this snugged up, and we'll take a picture of the hero shot there when we're done. Alrighty, so we had to take the one clip down for the parking brake cable. If you follow it in, there's another one of these compression sleeve things. We'll need to get the 1/2 inch wrench on And then we got to follow that back around. There's probably this terrible video here. Get it light. Yep, and then disconnect things back here at the splitter for the parking brake cables. So I think it's almost easier to cut these old cables off just to worry about slacking things off. But we'll get these off next, and we'll get the other cable swapped in. All right, so we got first side, mocking up. So I got the cable in there. It's a little more difficult to run the cable because you have these E-clips. I don't know where the other E-clip is.
It's right here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you got E-clips to lock in these cables instead of those little tanged, retainers like the stock cables have.
Style.
So one of the things, it's got these nice little machined black spacers to center the brake rotor up to your axle, because these are SN95 discs and the center ring is a little bit bigger on them than the Fox hub is. So the little spacers take up the slack so the rotor's not shaking around. So we got the pads in, had to put the bracket on first. Good thing you have to get the bracket on first, because without, it comes with a washer, but what you have to worry about is the spacing of this spacer. Without these two washers, this face here would have been rubbing right on the rotor.
Yeah, it's not enough spacers that they give you from the kit.
So we had to take both of the spacers for both the driver's side brake and the passenger side brake, and stick them in here, the washers, and then that centered this bracket up on the rotor. So what we got to do is we got to get some more washers so we can put the other side together, hopefully correctly, with the same spacing that this one has. So
problem number one.
So all right, and the second problem we got with this kit is with the parking brake cables. So we have this, which uses an E-clip and these grooves to hold the cable into the back of the caliper into this hole right here. But this hole is too small to fit the brake cable in. So we gotta get in here with a Dremel or something and hog this out so the cable will fit. So, and the way they have you mount this brake cable
is goofy.
It's very confusing, because I got the instruction picture here, and you can see it's got like a sideways clamp, and it's got a big elbow here. For the brake line, you're gonna have to fab up, but it's got a big loop hanging down for the flex line. So all I did was from where the factory clip here goes on to where the shock mount bracket is, use the same bolt through the same bracket that they provide, and just ran the cable like this. So all we're gonna have to do, even with the factory line, is just cut it and flare it, pop it right into there, and your job's done. You don't need any kind of big whoop-de-doos or anything. It's nice and small and compact. It stays with the diameter of the rim.
It won't foul on the inside if you're running a 15-inch tire.
Yeah, so this is gonna be, I don't know why
I don't know.
they did it like this.
This way looks much better.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a lot better. So this caliper got to come back off. We got to hog that out, and then I'm gonna do a brake flare while John does this, and we'll continue on. What a mess. So I almost did the classic brake flaring blunder of not putting the fitting on first. I got right all the way up to this point. I'm like, whoa! I took it all back apart, but it just sucks because there's brake fluid in the lines. It's just dripping out as we're going. But
occupational hazard.
Putting the flare, or the double flare bulge in it first. This is another one of those tools that I've had. It's just I don't know how long. There's that. So right back on. This is the classic thing that people do is they smash the heck out of these things on
Unnecessary.
the double flare, and you just kind of have to give it a little bit of a
tap,
one
tap,
turn, and that's it. Because you want the ultimate compression to be done as you're tightening it to the fitting it's going to go to. So, watch off, it's all full of brake fluid. Alright.
So there's your little flare.
I got that one in there just. Alright, we'll fight with this and get it shoved in there, thread it on. It's not going to be easy.
Nope.
So make sure on your caliper that these little, I can't even go from that side, I can just put that clip there.
Yep.
These little indentations are perfectly this way, because these will fit into the little pin right there on your pads. And with the caliper pins, they got this flat spot on them. Make sure they're parallel, because they fit in the flat spot of the caliper there. And everything's in. And get one first and then get the other one.
Gotta compress it a little bit because the spring's on the pads. Okay, that one's going.
Alright, the other one.
Can't see.
Sounds like Amazon guys here.
Probably. My wife bought something, I'm sure. It wasn't me. Okay, those are going, so. Alright.
Okay, well this is what it's going to look like installed. So everything's set there. We bled the brakes initially just because when we start doing the proportioning valve stuff, I don't want to be fighting not having any fluid in here. So we bled the brakes. You can pull the handbrake. That's all hooked up and working. See? So let me, all right, let it off. There we go. And pull it. Yeah, stuff's pretty good. So all right, let it up. See how nice the brake line's routed. So, all right, on to the proportioning valve. So additional thing you're gonna need is this little plug. So this plug is to take the place of this one on the back of the factory proportioning valve. So, because it has like a rubber thingy in the center of it. So this has got to come out. The guts on this side have to come out. I can film it really great. And then once that comes out, you put the plug in, and then the job's done for that part. And over here is where the proportioning valve is going to go, the adjustable one. So we're going to take this brass union apart. It's painted, but this is going to come apart. And I think these fittings should thread right into here.
That was painted by me, by the way, because I was lazy.
So we shouldn't have to install the fittings that came in this kit. But yeah, we're going to take this apart, stick this right together, in and out. We're going to have to put it back. That's weird. You got to put it backwards, so you're not going to be able to read the fancy advertisement.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put his logo on the other side from now on, because I don't want it sticking up and getting in the way of the hood closing. So, all right, let's get to it. So these brass fittings, you have to put them in here. Pull away a little bit. And
Quit telling me what to do.
Lined up.
Always yelling at me.
Oh, don't fall out.
That's what I say when I'm with the wife. Don't fall out.
There it goes. In.
So what Mike was saying earlier was that labels on this side, but the way we're going to have it, you won't be able to see it. So maybe they should be putting it on both sides. Or just not at all. But.
Well, I don't like seeing advertisements all over my stuff anyway. So.
Yeah, I didn't pay for the advertisement, damn it. I paid for a part.
So, alright, we'll get this buttoned up, and then we'll get these brakes bled. Proportioning valve is on and cinched up. It's all been bled out. Same thing with the plug and the guts from the original proportioning valve. So one thing you have to do, which they didn't really explain very well. When you're bleeding the rear brakes and you have the adjustable proportioning valve, you need, on this one, we had to crank it all the way in to get maximum pressure going to the rear brakes. Because we were pumping and pumping and pumping, bleeding. We were hardly getting anything out because it was restricting the flow. So we had to open it wide open as far as we could. Then we got satisfactory bleeding from the rear brakes, got all the air out of the system, and it was good to go. Then once that was done, then you reset this to how the instructions tell you to do it. So it's just one thing that's, if you're having problems, don't forget to do that. So, but yeah, we got it done. This is this is the day later. So road test was good. Just some lights here. They look really nice, I gotta admit that. Lots of clearance. These are 16s, so there's still quite a bit of room. These wheels have had it, but they're just hanging on there. But yeah, plenty of room, plenty of grip. Parking brake. This works really well. I gotta admit, from me doing it the old school way of Thunderbird Turbo Coupe brakes, SN95 brakes, the cables that are supplied work without that Ford Racing adjuster for your handbrake cable. So I was really pleasantly surprised about that. They must have just modified the length a little bit to work with his custom cables, and you know, one less thing you got to buy and worry about. So that's why he didn't say we needed it when John went to buy his parts. So success. Not really any performance difference in driving around the street.
Nope.
But yeah.
I wasn't expecting it either.
Yeah. But it's done, and next time we get this car on video, we'll probably be at the track again next month, and we'll see how it does for some high-speed stopping.
Woohoo!
So yeah, a little bit longer video this time. Thanks for sticking with me till the end, and hope to see you guys soon.